And what's up, Heat Seekers? My name is Joe Otis from joeislit.com, and welcome to Week 4 edition of NFL Lit Picks. I did pretty well last night. I picked the dogs, and my favorite thing about picking NFL games or football games in general is that when I do pretty well, and you guys on TikTok who are also joining us live now can very much be aware of this, is that, God, I didn't go too well on the parlays. I went 0 for 3. However, if you look at the picks individually, I went 8 and 4 yesterday, which I think is pretty good. And it's pretty hilarious when you look at the comments. It'll be like, oh, 0 and 3, vomit, terrible. And it's like, I mean, come on, guys. I don't think I did that bad. I mean, 8 and 4 is pretty good. Missed the parlays. Indiana, I was confused why they were such big underdogs, but I guess Vegas knows something that I didn't know yesterday. I picked them to beat Nebraska going into Lincoln. And unfortunately, they tied it up at the half, but they didn't really show up in the third quarter. So Nebraska won that one. Also, I should have picked Oklahoma State over Baylor, but hey, what can you do? I thought Baylor was going to repeat the performance of the conference championship game last year. Didn't really happen. But guys, today is Sunday. We can move Saturday in the past. It is time for NFL Lit Picks. I'm really excited right now. Week 4. We're all coming over. People in Florida, I'm thinking about you right now coming over that hurricane. The weather's pretty crappy outside today out here outside of Philadelphia, that will factor into my picks as well. So let everybody know we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, also live on TikTok. Special shout out to those fans out there. And let's go into the rules that I picked up, how to do my self-scoring. If you pick the underdog outright, it's 3.5 points and up. That equals 4 points. If you pick the underdog outright, it's 3 points and less. You get scored 3 points. If you picked the game spread or over under, you get 2 points. If you pick the favorite, you get 1 point. All right, let's go to our games right now. And I'm going to read some comments from the crowd. And Bob says, Sunday morning is a good time for food shopping. It sure is. Bob says, go Phils, and then be honest. When was last time you used that ironing board in the background? I didn't realize I had an ironing board in the background. My wife obviously puts that up there. And yeah, honestly, I never use that. So I'm not going to lie to you guys right now. All right. So let's go to the first game. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are favored by 6.5. The over-under is 44. If I can show you all the window outside here right now, it is freaking raining. It's windy out. It's terrible. I wanted to, 44 seems like a pretty low number. However, like I said, the weather's going to be bad. I think there's going to be a lot of running in this game. Probably a lot of sacks if they try to throw the ball. I'm going to take the under in this one, which is 44. I feel that the game is going to be something like maybe 20-10, Eagles winning. I like them to cover the 6.5, but I'm not that confident because you got Doug Peterson coming in, which very well could be a revenge game. So I'm just going to take the under on this one. I think that there's going to be not a lot of scoring in this one. All right, on to our next game, which is the Buffalo Bills, who are favored by 3.5 at the Baltimore Ravens. The over-under is 50. The weather's not too great on Baltimore as well. As I said before, Baltimore and Philly, look, we're about an hour and a half away from each other. So with that being said, I think to see a lot of yards gained on the ground this one. And I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to take the Ravens, who are home today, on the money line at plus 150. I really like Lamar Jackson. I think it's pretty ridiculous when people say that the guy is a running back playing quarterback. The guy has obviously got skills. He's a really solid player. I think that he has some solid receivers as well. Rashad Bateman, J.K. Dobbins in the backfield. Their defense is pretty good. And I think it's going to be a tight game, but I think the Ravens are going to pull it out in the end. What do you guys think? All right. Check the comments. 6.5 seems kind of high for the Eagles tonight game, but nice game, but the Bills win. All right, on to our next game, which is the Chicago Bears at the New York Giants. Giants getting beat last Monday night. They didn't look too great against the Cowboys, but it's a different team that they're facing. They're facing the freaking Bears, who barely beat the Texans last week, and they're going to be traveling to New York. Weather once again sucks around here. I can see a lot of ground yardage secured by the Giants on this one. Maybe Saquon has a really good game. I'm going to take the Giants laying the 2.5. I just think that that's a pretty easy pick there. I'm not really. I didn't really see enough much of the Bears this year. They got lucky and beat the 49ers in week 1. They beat the Texans last week. I don't really like them. Going to the comments again. Giants most of my comments are picking the Giants in this one. And even is there any way the comments can show up here on TikTok? I wonder. I'll figure that out, but we'll figure out in the future. All right, and on to our next game. It is the Tennessee Titans at the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are favored by 3.5 in this one. Over under is 43. This line looks really weird to me because the Colts, they beat the Chiefs last week, but I thought the Chiefs laid an egg. Over under is 43. That seems pretty low to me, especially in an indoor stadium with these teams that, Derrick Henry still can score some points. Colts, they have Matt Ryan. He looked pretty good last week, so I think that 43 seems pretty low, and I think that there's going to be some points scored in this one. I think that 3.5 seems like a rat line. I'm not really looking to take the Colts in this one. I kind of want to take the Titans, but I'm not that convinced. The fact that they're 1-2, both these teams are 1-2 actually, and I'm just going to take the over 43. Easy as that. What do you guys think? Never know in these games. Those AFC South games are the worst. I agree with that. Take the Titans and with the points. Okay, Titans, I guess. Yeah, I really think the Titans are going to win this as well. I'll take the easier pick. I think is going with the over under. All right, and the next game is the Washington Commanders at the Dallas Cowboys. And I look at these two teams. I think Commanders. Now that I think about it, that's the worst freaking team that you can pick of. That's like an awful name, and it's hard not to say the R word with this one because that's such a terrible team to name the Commanders. They should have won like the Sentinels or something like that. What do you guys think? I don't know. But for this one, I'm going to take the Cowboys -3. I think the Cowboys win this easily. And somebody somehow is going to be in my freaking, one of you TikTok jerks are in my freaking, in my comment section here, NFLPassTV.com. Don't do that. That's probably a porn link. I thought the Washington would be better. Carson better not hold it long this week with that at Dallas. I think Carson is going to get sacked probably more than he did against the Eagles. Dallas is going to win. Take Dallas. I agree with that one. I don't know where these NFL Pass TV links are coming from, but we'll see. Enjoy yourselves. Next game is the Los Angeles Chargers at the Houston Texans. The over-under here is 45. Chargers are favored by 6. I kind of want to take the Texans being at home with the 6 points. That seems like a lot. However, the Chargers are going to get a nice pillow to fall on after falling to 1-2, losing to the Chiefs, losing to the Jaguars last week. Justin Herbert's banged up. But this game against the Texans couldn't come at a better time. I'm taking the Chargers -6. I think that if I go anything else, you're just overthinking that. All right, and then on to our next game. But before we get to that, I'm gonna get a little comment out here. And I think that a lot of the fan bases are recommending to avoid this game, Texans with points or no bet. Sorry, Joe, getting into car now. Well, I don't know what that means. Next game is the Seattle Seahawks at the Detroit Lions. Detroit's favorite 3.5, but listen, when you think about it, Detroit is going to be down both DeAndre Swift and Amon St. Brown. Like, seriously, I don't understand why they're favored. I guess they must like Jamal Williams and DJ Chark. This kind of reminds me of the Seahawks and, the Lions in the past. The Seahawks are 1-2, but they have impressed me. I think Geno Smith has the ability to go and beat the Lions. So that's why I'm going to take the Seahawks on the money line at +155. That's kind of my hot dog of the week. What does the crowd think? I know that this game sucks. All right. No, I'm going to take the Seahawks. They're going to win that one. All right. On to our next game, which is the New York Jets at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers favored by 3 with the over-under being 41.5. This could be a very different Jets team because you got to remember Zach Wilson making a season debut today. Don't know if he's been out with any MILFs lately. Good for him, but the Steelers are obviously not the same team they've been in the past. I think they got to make the change from Mitch Trubisky. They should go with Kenny Pickett as a quarterback. Why not? You drafted the guy. Could be the top quarterback in the 2022 draft. I think you got to go with him. Not really big on Mitch Trubisky. This one I'm just going to take the over, which is 41.5. I think that both these teams have the ability to run the ball. And the weather's nice in Pittsburgh. And the weather is kind of cloudy there. I checked it out, but 41.5 isn't that many points. So I'm going to go with the over. And let's see what the crowd has to say. Steelers on the money line. The MILF Hunter is going to have a tough time. That's what the fans say. Yeah, I guess you can say that, but I mean, you never know. It's his first game of the season. He didn't look that sharp in the preseason, but I think both these teams have the ability to put up points on each other. Next game is the Cleveland Browns at the Atlanta Falcons, and the Browns here are favored by 1, which I don't get. They're 2-1. They lead the AFC North. Falcons 1-2. They beat the Seahawks. They're home. I don't know why you would pick the Falcons in this one. The over/under is 48, which again, I mean that seems like a high number. But the Browns are going to bring their high-scoring rushing attack. They're number 1 in the NFL, and I'm just going to take the Browns laying the point. Why not? I don't understand why they're underdogs. To be honest with you, they should be 3-0 right now. They should have won in week 2. Jacoby Brissett's playing serviceable. They're not a great passing team, obviously, but when you got those two running backs, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt leading the NFL, I mean, you got to go with them. Falcons will win. Also like the over. Well, that's how you see about it, and we'll see what happens. All right, next game is the Arizona Cardinals at the Carolina Panthers. Panthers, again, favored by 1. Over-under is 43.5. Now, this line, again, seems like a rat line. Like, why are the Panthers favored to beat the Cardinals? Cardinals, I guess maybe you could think maybe the Cardinals probably should be 0-3 as well. They should have lost in week 2 against the Raiders. But I don't know. That's why I don't really want to pick one way or the other. I'm just going to go with the over-under. I'm taking the over, 43.5. Weather's cloudy in Charlotte, but it should be nice day to play some football. I think there's going to be some points scored. I think both these teams are both capable of at least putting up 24 points, and I like the over here. Next game is the Green Bay Packers at the New England Patriots. Packers favored by 9.5. I think that I can see that. The over-under is 40. I'm tempted to take the over-under, but very well think that the Patriots could very well lay an egg out here. Mac Jones banged up, obviously. So I think that this is going to be a bludgeoning, and I think the Packers are going to win by 20 points. Take the Packers laying 9.5. All right. And our next game is the Denver Broncos at the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders favored by 2.5. Over-under is 45. Mr. Unlimited isn't really that exciting to me this year. Let's see. If you go with the, I'm going to go back to the last game. My comments, we don't like this game. Patriots will run the ball and slow the game down. Too many points. I don't know about that. I like the over. But I think that the Patriots are going to get destroyed. So once again, back to the Broncos at the Raiders, -2.5, over-under is 45, and the Raiders are 0-3 right now. I think that at some point they have to get their win, and Russell's not really impressing me that much. They got lucky to beat the Niners last week. I'm picking the Raiders laying the 2.5. I think they're going to win this game somewhat easily. And moving on to the next one, we're on to our Sunday night game, which is the Kansas City Chiefs at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There's some injuries on with the Buccaneers. The receivers, Godwin's questionable. They say he's going to play. Same thing with Julio Jones. This is going to be a good game. This is going to be definitely a marquee game. So with that being said, I think both these teams are going to be able to score some points. I'm taking the over 46. I really don't know who to pick between these two. The Chiefs very well could show up like they did last week and lay an egg. Buccaneers very well. They could be the team that lays an egg. They're both 2-1 at this time. So I'm just going to take the over. I'm going to be rooting for points in this one. What do you guys think? All right. On to our last game, which is the Monday Night Football game, Los Angeles Rams at the San Francisco 49ers. Niners laying 1.5. And once again, I have no idea why they are laying 1.5. The over-under being 42.5. I'm just going to go with my brain says take the Rams in the money line, the defending Super Bowl champions going to be going into San Francisco, and I think they're going to beat them. I don't understand why the Niners are the favorites in this one. They lost last week to Denver in a very poor matchup. They barely scored any points. The Rams have a much better defense. I'm taking the Rams in this one. And once again, let's go back to my hot dog of the week. The hot dog of the week will be the Seattle Seahawks, and they're going to beat Detroit. Let's get the mega parlay out. So my mega parlay, folks, I like to take the Giants laying 2.5, Titans and the Colts going over 43, the Seahawks winning outright plus 155, and the Cardinals and the Panthers over 43.5. That will give you a parlay of plus 1603. Once again, plus 1603. I'll pay out 16-1 if you pick those. We'll see what happens. Guys, I've had so much fun this weekend. I love college football. Picking college football games is so much fun, and I love the NFL, obviously. Weekends in the fall are made for football, and can't think of anything better than that. So once again, please stay tuned for next week. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, especially my new fans on TikTok. I love going live, and once again, this will be the end of the broadcast. Nice, quick 20-minute show, and have a great weekend.